I think I'm alive. Am I alive? Somebody say something, please. Somebody say something. Oh, okay, check the video resolution. Hold on. Which is not optimal. Really? Could you guys see me okay? I need some feedback. Hello, hello, hello. Could you guys help me with some does the video look okay? It's saying that my video resolution is low. Hello, hello, hello. You can see me? Can you hear us? Could you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes, you can hear me and you can see me. Hold on. Okay, cool. And, okay, cool. All right, guys, what's up? I'm a little early because the virus is weak, but the tyranny is strong. It's fine. Okay. All right, so, hey guys, nice to see you. Now it says excellent connection. Okay. I don't know what's going on. Let me see if I can open up another window. Or maybe I should leave this window. I think maybe I should leave this window up. I don't know what's going on. All right. Hey, I'm gonna look this way. So much. I haven't done this in a long time, and I was trying to mess with it yesterday. And yeah, I think I got the hang of it now a little bit. So I'm just gonna wait for a few people. Tolton Hatten Wa? What does that mean? No, is that Kol in the Japanese? Koen Wa? I don't know, Jeffrey Russell Jr. I'm learning a little bit of Japanese, so I don't know all my hiragana yet, but I know you said, oh, is that Konnichi? No, that's not Konnichiwa. Okay. In the end, humanity destroyed itself over a cartoon of Spiky Ball. Yeah, I get it. Right, because all of the virus pictures are artist renderings. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Virus hoax, you're doing fine. Okay, oh, konbanwa. Is that like konnichiwa? It's good evening. It's good evening. Yeah, it's good evening. Konbanwa. Yes. Yes. Okay. Konbanwa. Really? Okay. Got you. I'm just going to wait until 9. I'm just going to mess around a little bit until 9, and then I'll get started. And if don't call the number yet, but if you go to the top of the comment section, I pinned the call-in number to call in. I also have this. I'm a little bit behind, I guess. But I have, I said I was going to give away a gift certificate or give away $50. And I was like, yeah, I'm working, so I should be fine to do that. But now they cut my hours, so probably gonna do it just this one time. But I'll give it away maybe later in the show. Maybe I'll think of I didn't really think about how I was gonna do it, honestly. But I did say in one of my videos that I wanted to give away $50, and if I say I'm going to do something, I try and keep my word. My grandmother was really like, your word is your bond. So, yeah, my quarantine's okay, gorgeously Gaby. Is it Gaby? I'm still technically working, even though my hours got cut. So I'm very lucky to have a job. A lot of my friends and family aren't so fortunate. you know, but I need to file my taxes. I don't know if I'm eligible because I'm an independent contractor, but I don't know. Yeah, I know they cut your hours too. So what do you guys think? I mean, I'm gonna take some calls and we're gonna talk about it. But so what do you guys think about what this is? This is a smoothie. I'm a little bit behind the when I talk, it goes behind a little bit the latency. So maybe next time I need to fix that. Now it's saying the video resolution is messed up. South Jersey. Rudy Palm, do you know of any? I heard that there's a hospital in New Jersey that's really busy. Do you know if that's true? Or have you heard anything? I don't think people are lying, but don't see the phone number. You don't see the phone number? Well, I'll put it. It's not at the top of the comment section. Oh, maybe right now because it's live. I get it. It's probably because it's live that it's just showing the live comments. So I wrote it down though just in case that happens. So I have the number here. You see it? Actually, oh, it's the wrong way, but I'm not going to show it until I'm ready for you to call it in because I don't want people to call in yet. All right, it's 9, you guys. What's going on? All right, so you guys want to, let's just get with the call-ins. Here's the number. Oh, I showed the, I showed the back. I don't know, I should do normal latency. I don't, There we go. I'm holding at 512-481-7464. Hopefully it will work. 512-481-7464. Hey, Canada. It's a Skype number, so if you're out of the country. Thank you, Decomplier. Let's see if we can take any calls. I'm waiting. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on? We got 856 on the line. Can everybody else hear him? Sorry, I just want to make sure. I don't do this often. Could somebody just say, like, put a 1 if you can hear him as well? Okay, just keep talking if people say they can't hear. What's your name?
Lenny.
Glenn, what's going on? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So what do you want to talk about? What do you think about this this COVID-19?
COVID-19, let's see. If anyone's to blame, it's China because it came from China. Whether it came from the wet market or from a lab. I think it came from a lab.
Could you speak up like a little more? They're saying that they can hear you, but you're low. And I have my volume turned up all the way.
Oh, that's odd. I have my volume turned up all the way on my phone.
Okay, well, I can hear you. So you're saying you think it came from a lab? Why do you think it came from a lab?
Well, because it's something communist China would do. And the fact that they were having the protests in Hong Kong. So, I mean, how else do you get rid of protesters? I mean, Tiananmen Square, they ran people over with tanks.
Thank you.
So I don't think it would be that far of a stretch, whether it was intentional or not. And also, I'm not sure if you knew this. Did you know that a professor was arrested from Harvard? He was working in Wuhan.
Yes, I heard about that.
A chemist. He was a chemist.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking he may have helped make the virus, and then maybe so either he helped make the virus or they injected it into a bat, and then the bat either scratched somebody, and then that person got sick, and then it just snowballed from there. But I don't think that it came from the wet market, because from what I've read, there was no bats at the wet market.
What do you think about the 5G theory?
I mean, it is possible, because a lot of people, from what I saw, a lot of people that were getting sick with the virus, it's similar to the radiation poisoning.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really. It's so many possibilities. I haven't really commented on China because I don't know what happens. I kind of believe more of the radiation theory, but I do have friends that believe that, like, the lab that was created in the lab. The more that I understand about viruses, though, I don't think that it's possible to create a mass biological agent. This is my opinion, but I just don't think it's possible to create a mass biological agent that's going to affect people on a large scale, because everybody's immune system is different. Now, for me, it makes more sense to, like, maybe if it was a radiological or chemical weapon, warfare will affect people in large quantities like that at the same time, but not necessarily a biological agent.
Okay,
But I don't know, huh?
So let's think of this a little bit. So it's affecting people with underlying health conditions and the elderly. So stereotypically speaking, those are people that, what was I going to say? So stereotypically speaking, those are people that would, quote unquote, be more of a burden on society.
Mm-hmm.
Versus somebody that's young, that's young and healthy, they wouldn't necessarily be a burden on society, so they can keep working, you can keep taxing them.
They can be more, they're more effective slaves, technically, right?
Right.
Yeah, one of my girlfriends was saying that too. She was saying, it is a good way, to kind of genocide off the people that aren't as useful, like,
right.
Have you ever seen that movie Gattaca?
What is it?
Gattaca. It's an old movie. It came out in like the 90s. It was about the future.
No, I haven't.
If you in the science fiction, you might like that movie, but it's about like the future, and basically everybody, all the people are made. Everybody has superior genetics and stuff like that, and people that are kind of like normal that weren't made, they get sick and they get like they're not as useful, they're not as respected in society. It's a good movie. I'm not going to tell you the whole story, but you can probably find it. It's so old. You can probably find it on YouTube. You can probably find it on Netflix. It's well made. It's a nice looking movie. It was a good movie. But I mean, yeah, that is a good theory too. That maybe you get off the elderly, and you get off the people that aren't as physically strong. Because there is an agenda. If you believe, or if you know about Agenda 21, there is a what do you call it? A plan. There is an agenda. Yeah, depopulation agenda. And they want people. I mean, if you look at the Georgia Guidestone stuff, they really want. God, they want it down. I think it's either 5 million, or it's 5 million people out of, I think. I always forget if it's 500,000 or 5 million people, but they want that many people, and then they want everybody else gone. And I think it was Brzezinski. He's somebody that's in geopolitics, like a world leader, but he was quoted as saying, there are two Brzezinskis. Zbigniew Brzezinski, he said that it's easier now to kill 1 million people. It used to be easier to control 1 million people, or a lot of people, but now it's easier to kill them. Because the more the population grows, the more people start questioning things and waking up, the harder it is for them to control things like they used to, especially with the internet.
Right.
I think when it was invented, or when it was co-opted, or whatever you believe, I think a lot of people want it, or the higher ups really want it to use it to control us. And in some ways, it does because you have addiction to certain things, right? Like social media, and some of the stuff's unhealthy. But we've also used it to connect with each other and to educate each other, and um, stuff like that. So, but yeah, are you scared?
I mean, a little bit, but I mean, not really. I mean, what can you really do? I mean, if you keep stressing and stressing about it, all you're gonna do is make yourself sick. I look at it this way: it's in God's hands. All you can really do is pray. I mean, I don't want to get religious on you, but I mean, what
You
can
can.
you really do?
Well, you can pray, but I also think, I'm gonna, I have some people coming on my channel within the next few weeks, and we're gonna really talk about how to fortify your immune system and about germs and stuff like that. Because just with my own journey and my health struggles, I really, I think because technically I'm immune compromised. I have asthma. I used to be really sick when I was little, and I even had a friend, tell me that, oh, you need to start taking this seriously because you have asthma and you can die. And I was like, dude, I'm not scared. And I'm not scared. And if I didn't have the knowledge that I know that I have now, I probably would be scared. But I think, a lot of one of the ways that they control us is by, not, kind of keeping certain things from us, right? What is that in the Bible? My people perish for lack of knowledge. So,
Right.
I think that, the more people understand our bodies and how we work and how our immune system works and how we can fortify it, like if you are a religious person, I believe that God didn't make mistakes, and we're constantly kind of, with the pharmaceutical industry taking over everything, we're kind of brainwashed to believe that our bodies aren't sufficient without, chemical drugs and vaccines.
Right.
And I understand now how to make your body like, you know, um, fortify your immune system basically, so you're not vulnerable to stuff like that. And I'm going to be talking more about that because I have some friends that are in the health freedom movement and that are natural healers. And a lot of my friends used to be really sick, and that's why we are so passionate about healing and giving people the power to heal themselves and to be more informed about that. So, have you should look into this guy. His name is Dr. Shiva Ayudure. His name,
Yeah.
I reached out to him, and he's doing really good lectures about teaching people how to fortify their immune system. And he has a company called Cytosol, and he has like 4 degrees. He went to MIT, but one of his degrees is in systems biology. And he is basically, he's breaking down, like, what his company does. He does individualized healthcare for people that have sickness, because everybody's different, what their immune system is. It depends on like how healthy they were to begin with, like, are they, eating a lot of processed food? Are they stressed all the time? What is their work environment like? There are a lot of factors that factor in why people get sick and how they get sick. So, sorry, I hope I'm not boring you, but I'm just, check him out and check out this other guy.
I know who he is. I've listened to him a few times. He was actually on a podcast with another YouTuber that I follow.
Okay. What do you think? What do you think of him?
I mean, he's obviously very knowledgeable, but the one YouTuber that I follow, it's more politics. It's not so much like natural.
Oh yeah, because he's running for Senate. He's running for Senate. Well, if you can go on his YouTube channel, he has a lecture called like vitamins and versus vaccines or something like that, and it really he really does a good job. Another one, somebody just talked about Yummy Mummy, and Yummy Mummy Emporium Apothecary. She's really good at that as well. Yeah, I'm looking at the comments. I'm gonna have her back maybe within the next month. She just wrote a book, so I am making plans to get her back. So because I want her to promote her book. So, but yeah, let me take the next call. Do you have any questions or anything else?
No, I was just gonna say I'm trying to red pill my one neighbor. It's just I like Trump. I support Trump, and she can't stand Trump. So anything I say, like, it automatically goes down toilet. Like, she wants to bring politics in every little thing.
I
So
know.
finally, I just told her she's a nurse. So I was like, you know what? You're a nurse. You're in a position to actually do something. Why don't you come out of retirement and you volunteer with an NGO and go to New York City? You're a nurse. If you don't want to do anything, then shut the hell up and stop blaming the president, because it's not his fault. It's nobody's fault. If it's anybody's fault, it's China, because they lied to the rest of the world about what was going on, and they silenced the whistleblowers that are trying to come forward.
And I mean, I say if you want to blame a country, also don't take it on the people too, because Chinese people, they're very they're oppressed by their own government, just like China is like, huh?
I said absolutely. Or when I say China, I'm talking about the Communist Party, not the Chinese citizens.
China is
Chinese
like
citizens.
No, China is what we would be if if the Democrats took over. You know what I mean? Like, geez.
Right.
But yeah, people in their own time. I don't waste my time on people that I used to, but it's like an uphill battle, and your energy is very precious. You don't want to waste your energy. So
I gotta laugh because she'll blame Trump, but at the same time she's trying to say Trump is a dictator, but now he's not enough of a dictator because he's not forcing people to comply. I'm like, okay, but that's part of living in a free country.
I know.
We all make decisions. Unfortunately, we're not China. We don't weld people into their houses so they can't leave. If people don't want to take this seriously, or better yet, maybe it's not that they're not taking it seriously. If they just don't care, if they make people sick, if they're going to die anyway, then, I mean, what can we really do?
Well, I also noticed too a lot of people that just want to blame Trump for everything. To me, it just seems like there's just a certain personality type, and that personality type is people that just don't want to take responsibility for anything. Like there was a guy that sued McDonald's a few years ago for making him fat, but I mean, he chose to go to McDonald's. You can say that they do put a lot of chemicals and bad stuff in their food, but that guy also probably knows the difference between a salad and a hamburger. So,
exactly.
But there are people that are just like that, and if you can bond on other things and just try and talk to her about other things, she might she might never come around. She might, but it's just like I don't know. Like I used to be like that, and I'm very passionate, about my view. But I just also realized that you can't change people that aren't open, and you might as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. I agree 100%. It's just like I tell her all the time. I'm like, okay, but we clash about these kind of things. So let's talk about movies. Let's talk about sports. Let's find something that we do have. Something that we do have in common.
Well, I mean, they lost. You know what I mean? Like, they're the losers. So I found that too. Like I used to drive for Lyft, and a lot of people would just get in the car and just want to talk about politics, and I didn't. And honestly, that was the thing that really turned me. Was like, it was a lot of the liberals that were just terrible, horrible personalities, and it was just such a turnoff that I actually started looking into Trump, because I didn't even vote. I didn't vote at all last election. I didn't look into a lot of the stuff that people were saying about him. So, But anyway, thank you for calling. I should take the next call. But yeah.
All right. Have a good night.
You too. Good night. Night. I will put the number in. It is, hold on, 512-481-7464. 512-481-7464. 512-481-7464. People need to stop looking for solutions outside themselves. Exactly. That's how they control us. Right? All right, who's this? Hey, what's going on? Who am I talking to?
Hey, my name's Brian. How you doing?
Good, how are you? Could you speak up a little louder?
Yeah, sure. Sorry. Can you hear me
Oh, let me see. God, everything's up. I can hear you. Yeah, go on.
Cool.
Brian.
My name's Brian. Yes. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. I guess, make it quick. I just had a few things. And I don't know if you want to write it down or just want to look back to the video later to get all this stuff. You can find everything, these whole entire plan, at the World Economic Forum's website, and it's called the COVID Response Platform. And I'm still trying to gain access to the whole entire website, which right now it makes it look like it's extremely easy to just get a, sign up name and a password. But it makes you actually like request access. But everything's there. Everything. This has been planned for years. And then let's see here. I've got other stuff.
Did you see the VIT 201?
Oh, Event 201 is linked to it, yes.
Okay,
But
so VIT 201.
That's where I guess everybody really started figuring out about this and looking deeper into it. But the World Economic Forum website, it's insane, and this is where all these people go to talk to each other back and forth. So I mean, you can, all these groups that are involved are constantly putting new articles up all day long, and it's all about the plan, the how to take over the world. Every aspect of it. And it just so happens that at the bottom of the page where it shows the overview of all their different plans and policies, at the bottom is the 17 goals sustainability from Agenda 21.
Wait, at the bottom is what? Agenda 21?
Well, at the bottom of the page, there's a certain part of the page where you can go and it gives you an overview of all of their points or all their plans. And at the bottom of it, it just happens to have the Agenda 21 17 goals for sustainability listed as part of the plan.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. Go on.
If you look at it, it'll blow your mind. But I've got plenty of other stuff to tell you to look at. And you may have already heard of some of this. I'm sure you know the ID 2020 thing.
Yeah, I know.
Have you heard of the quantum dot tattooing yet?
Is that the one that's in? Is that the one that's like it looks like a blueprint of your finger, or like
it actually is it's like a subdermal tattoo that it's invisible because it's what they call nanotubules or something like that.
If you know what, if you can email some of this, I know a lot of this stuff already, but I want more details. If you can.
Okay.
If you can, email me info@truthertalk.com.
Okay. You said info, Truther Talk?
Info@truthertalk. So the channel's name is Truther Talk. And you can just email me at info@truthertalk. So if you have a link to that stuff, that would probably be better for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is there no, .com or anything after it?
Info@truthertalk.com.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But, and I guess, so the one last thing I can say quickly, look at SEMA Capstone, CAPSTONE, and then the other one that would be quick and easy to look at, which is the basis of what everything's based off of, is called the Anglo-Saxon Mission.
Oh, yeah, I know about that, but yeah.
It's extremely racist, just wacko.
Well, but it is that, but at the same time, they want to even kill other Anglo-Saxons. They just want a few people. My belief is they want a technocratic society, and they basically just want to kill. I saw the comment. It was they want 500 million people. basically,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
so they can control them. But so
Oh,
nobody's safe, really. You know,
Not at all. I'm
yeah.
just glad I live on the top of the mountain in the middle of nowhere by myself.
Turn the volume
Um,
on off. Oh, you know
there's
what? Maybe somebody
there's
suggested maybe that you can turn the volume off or down if you're watching the video, but I don't know. I'm sorry. Go on.
there is a YouTube channel called A Simulated Reality. You're gonna find a lot of stuff there that'll blow your mind.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
All right. Good.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
I'll send all that in an email.
Okay. Thank you.
That's cool.
Okay. Anybody else want to call? Sorry, somebody called, but I was talking, so I hung up on you. Next here, let me put the 512-481-7464. 512-481-7464. Or should I put a space? 512-481-7464. Hello, who am I speaking with?
Hi, my name is Kevin Offenberg. Kevin.
Yeah, okay, cool. Your volume seems okay. All right, hi, hey Kevin, what's going on?
Hi, do you hear me well?
Yeah, I can hear you. This is better.
Awesome.
This is the best.
Hey, so I've been watching your channel for like a few years now, or a little less than that. But on the Alex Jones show, and man, I never thought at this point I could reach to you. But what do you think? Like this virus, like what do you think this is? Do you think it's still man? Do you think it's man-made? Do you think it's bullshit? What do you think?
I think that the elites. Oh, hold on, somebody's trying to call, but I can't take a call. Wait till that. Hello.
Yeah.
I think that the elites have been planning this, just like the guy said, for a long time. I know this because I knew about Agenda 21. I knew about like the Bilderberg group meetings and stuff like that. The more concrete evidence and the more things I can get to point to that, I'm all open to it. So I think they've been planning it for a long time.
Okay.
I think something happened in China that made people sick. I think maybe it was probably 5G, maybe a vaccine. I don't know. I don't really know what happened in China, but I don't think whatever made people sick in China is making people sick here. My thing is, I know about the tests, and I know that the tests give false positives, and I know that because with all the research I've done with vaccines, I know how they spike numbers. They're not just doing this with this. They did that with polio. They do stuff like they'll change the illness. They'll change the diagnostic criteria. They'll, have tests that give false positives. This is just a constant pattern that I see. So when I saw this, I'm like, oh, that's what they're doing. They're like, so for me, I think what they're doing is like, they're basically, and now there's a lot of people on social media saying that they're doing this because they would do that for flu cases, right? They would write off pneumonia deaths and merge them with flu cases to make the flu numbers go up so they can promote the flu shot.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
So I think that I'm not. And so if I hear people say, oh, so-and-so got tested for COVID-19, well, first of all, there's no way to distinguish that between the flu, pneumonia, or COVID-19. There's no, like, so it's just easy to scare people and hype up the media and make people think that they have COVID-19 when they really have pneumonia or they really have the flu. Or they're really, and then I have a bunch of stuff. I put it on our Facebook page where people are collecting a lot of social media posts saying that their grandmother died, their mom died, their sister died, whatever, of something else. And on the death certificate, they're crossing it off as COVID-19. Right,
yeah.
So I think that's what it is, but there's many agendas going on. I think there's a vaccine agenda, but I also think that there's an agenda to kind of test us and see how much we can get away with. I think, and I think there's an evil. I think that's the evil plan. Now, I know there's some people that might get mad at me, but I have been looking into a lot of the white hat stuff too, and I think some of that's real as well. I think
The what stuff?
the white hat, like the Q stuff, not all of the Q stuff, but I think that there is. I think that there is our military, and there is something going on that is
Okay.
that is kind of even, but this has been going on for years, not just now. Like this has been going on for years, building up to the election, because I think there is a war between the deep state going on, and I think the deep state had been planning this for years, and is using this to get their agenda across. But I think we're kind of at the apex, and I think that there is a white hat or a good side that's trying to turn it around.
No, for sure. I totally agree. That's why I love your channel, because I was on your side the first time. I mean, I'm not saying like you changed. I'm saying you're probably adapted, but the first time you were like, this is complete bullshit. Hello? Okay. And so I kind of still agree. Like, I don't, like, I'm in California and I don't see any, like, I talk to nurses, RNs, doctors, like, other doctors, dude, nothing's going on. Like, nothing, other than California, nothing's going on right now. It's
Well,
empty,
okay,
like,
but this is the thing too.
you know what I mean?
So I did a video a few days ago, and I was saying, as a medical courier, I go around to hospitals. I don't see stuff here. I've talked to some of other people
Right.
that work. So I don't see. I did get a few comments of people saying that there's a hospital in New York and there's a hospital in New Jersey. Not all of New York, but there's a hospital in New Jersey, and there's a
Right.
there's a hospital. So something is going on. Now I've also been hearing. I don't know if you guys know about the deep underground military bases. That there's, if you guys know about that, do you know about that?
No,
Oh, you should do a search. It's interesting to know. So they have these military bases. The elite, they have these military bases pretty much all over the world, and they've even there are even pictures of some. They have cities. I mean, it's quite elaborate. So there are videos of like showing, this is a few years back, the military actually preparing to go battle underground, right? So the tools that they're using to open doors, they have robots to figure out if there's oxygen. They have, they're doing all this preparation to like fight underground. And I think that this is what they were preparing for, but this has been going on for a few years. So I also, my friend sent me this, and there's a thing that's trending of a nurse saying that they raided one of the underground bases because it's in Central Park, and they've been actually taking out children, because I don't know if you ever got into like the MK Ultra stuff or like the Illuminati. They have children that they breed into. If you have children watching this, maybe you guys shouldn't. Sorry, I'm just gonna hold up for 1 second. Maybe you guys shouldn't, because I might get kind of graphic here, and I don't want to freak anybody out. But they rape children, they breed children to sell their blood for adrenochrome. They they have sex trafficking and drug trafficking and all this stuff. But there's a lot of kids and sex slaves involved. So this nurse is basically saying that they're prepping the hospitals, or they're busy because they're getting all of these slaves. It is supposed to be thousands and thousands of kids. There's like 800,000 kids a year that go missing every year, something like that. This is from like the FBI statistics. Where are those kids going, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Right,
I think, I mean, I'm gonna have the stream today, and I'm kind of thinking that maybe I should lay off a little bit, because maybe they're prepping the hospital for these kids. Maybe that's what the ships are for, the Mercy and the Comfort. Another nurse posted, I guess, supposedly these are pictures inside one of the ships, and they were saying that they're set up like trauma rooms, not for anybody that would have a respiratory illness. So, for instance, the lights are very dim. The room is set up in a certain very more comforting way. And they have TPNs, which is like, I've had to deliver those. That's when you get sick and you can't physically eat with your mouth, but they put it in your IV. It's basically the food that they give you through your IV. So if somebody is malnourished, that's not something that is, a COVID-19 victim. It's somebody that's been through trauma or something like that. So I've heard it. I've seen at
Wow.
least 3 reports of. So I think we're in a war. I think that's what the cover up is. I could be wrong, but this is the conclusion that I've come to. We're in a war. We're at the apex, or the apex, and it's either we're gonna be free or we're gonna be slaves, or it's gonna go either way.
Yeah, I'm not taking no damn vaccine if they give me one. My uncle's a pediatrician and he's anti-vax. So
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I've been.
he does something. If it's mandated, he does some of it. He has to, but some shit he'll write it off and go, yeah, you don't need that.
Oh, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. So, but I think the evil elite. They're gonna go ahead with their script. They're gonna go ahead with their plan, and
Oh, for sure.
so they're not gonna stop. So they're gonna be pushing the vaccines. They're gonna be pushing the fear. They're gonna be pushing the panic. They're gonna be doing all of that. But I really do now believe. At first, I was like, God, I hope it's true. I hope it's true. But I really now do believe that there are good military and good deep state, or not good deep state, but good people in the government that are actually trying to turn this thing around. And I don't know. You heard, huh? What?
Yeah, it's crazy times we live in. I'm telling you. This is
Yeah.
a way to be alive.
Yeah. You said it's a good to be alive.
It's crazy. It's just like it's weird to be alive today. It's like this time, this moment,
Well, we're living
Like,
history, man.
crazy.
We're living history.
Yeah,
I mean, this
yeah.
is, So so kind of like to calm my nerves and just to like focus. I've been really like praying and sending my energy to the people that are doing the things, that are trying to turn this around. And then if those nurses are working on those kids and the doctors, they're probably very traumatized as well. It's going to be very traumatizing for them. And the police officers and the
Yeah.
military people. Like I'm sending all my love out to them because it's
for
it
sure.
must be really like just unbelievably harrowing for them. But I'm very appreciative
And
of it.
One last question for you. So let's just say I know you're not a doctor,
Yeah.
you're not any of that, but like you're very smart, intelligent. I take colloidal silver. I take alpha leaf extract. If I ever get the flu, it works like a charm for me. What would you suggest as well? If you ever got a virus, what do you suggest to do?
Okay, I'll have to say what I would do. If I do take colloidal silver, I also make sure that I'm taking probiotics because it does kind of act like an antibiotic. But it has regenerative
good.
properties, so you got to make sure that you're not slowly like killing your microgut flora.
Okay.
I take a lot of vitamin C. Vitamin C is really good. But I take vitamin C anyway because it helps with my allergies. Especially, I'm from California. I
Okay.
was born and raised, but I live in Texas now. And allergies are just
Okay.
off the chain, especially in the winter. We get cedar fever. But you should go look at some. You can probably find easy information on vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin D. That's what Dr.
Okay.
Shiva was talking about too. Especially since we're inside and we're not getting a lot of sun. The darker skin you are, I don't. The more vitamin D you need, the darker you are, the longer you need to stay in the sun and get vitamin D. But that helps as well. But those are the things that I've seen being recommended. But I do that anyway because I just have to I'm constantly like, I don't eat sugar. I don't, no, okay, I lie. I eat sugar sometimes, but I don't eat a lot of sugar. Cut out the processed food, eat fresh fruits and vegetables, drink a lot of water, good clean water, no water with fluoride in it. And fucking watch some comedy movies and listen to some music and don't fucking, watch the TV.
Yeah, stressed out. Like right now, I'm having a beer and a cigar.
Well, that's good.
Right now.
Maybe that's not the best for.
Everyone's wearing masks, paper masks. And I was getting some food earlier today, and everyone's looking at me. So I don't have any masks, and it's like.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, I've had to one of the hospitals I go in, I have to wear a mask for like 5 minutes when I go in, but I take it off and I throw it in the trash can. And I went into this pizza place today, and they're like, "Oh, we're just taking takeout." They literally had masks on, they had the hairnets on, and they were wrapped in plastic bags. I was like, these people are flipping crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know?
I just want to get this freaking virus and get over with. That way I'm you know, let me just get it already, and then I'll quarantine myself, and then I'll be.
Yeah, I'm not even like worried about it. I don't think, but I wanted to ask you too, like, what is your take? Like, have you been talking to people? Are some people thinking that this is bullshit and that, like,
So
something
yeah,
else is
so
going
like
on?
so when this first in California, when they first said like, I'm a single father, and I raise my kid full time. My son, and his school closed down the first weekend, and that was my bachelor party weekend with my friend. His wedding just got canceled. It was actually today. It's supposed to be today. And so I went to the bachelor party, and I went to downtown Fullerton area, and we're like by the college, and there was people still going there, and I met some Republicans at a cigar bar, and I didn't know who they, and we're talking, and everyone thinks it's bullshit. I have two sisters that are in law enforcement. They think it's bullshit.
Yeah, like I think this is why I think there is a war. Like there's something going on. It's not what they're telling us. But I think that they want people out of the way so they can fight their wars and do their shit because, the elite too, they can pull false flags, they can bomb shit, they can do a lot of other stuff too. And I think one good sign I think is the fact that like they're calling for the army people, but they're calling for the reserves. They're calling up the reserves that are here in America.
Yeah.
Instead of because I've been knowing about all this, the Ginger 21 stuff for like a decade. So some of my friends and I, we've been talking for like, damn, we've been saying that this is gonna come true, and people are like laughing at us. But now, like, it's kind of weird to see it kind of coming to fruition. But what was I gonna say? I was gonna say, so in that plan though, what they had planned to do was have different army come in from different countries, because if they were gonna take over America, because they said that Americans wouldn't do that to their own people. So what they were gonna do, they were gonna switch out different countries. Does that make sense? So they have people from Russia come here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or from China come here and do it, and then they'd send Americans to another country. So they'd have military from different countries going to different countries because they knew psychologically and emotionally it would be easier for them to take over another country, but not their own people. So I think that's kind of like a good,
It's pretty much the UN. Pretty much the UN versus us. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
If you think about it, like with Britain, like the Brexit.
Yeah.
Like they got hit hard.
Yeah.
And apparently, I forgot his name, the prime minister. He got positive, but he looks fine.
Oh, Tony Blair? No, who's the prime minister there? Is it Tony Blair? No.
I forgot. He's a new prime minister. I forgot his name, but.
In England?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot his name. I don't know. I'm like Tony Blair. No, that's wild.
He's the Republican, and then he pushed for Brexit, and they won. And now it's like their only option. Like, I didn't even know about this event 201 or whatever it's called. Like I just know it's bullshit. I just like
we're
gonna crash the economy. And my liberal friends are like, no bullshit, dude. Like Trump this, Trump that. And I'm like, no, dude, they're trying to crash the economy.
Yeah.
Like people are gonna be jobless, and that's where like Trump's winning right now. Like he's winning the war on economical issues, and now it's gone to shit. And then it's just gonna be like, and it's a war, but
Well, I think that if people were loyal to Trump, then they're going to be loyal to him. And people that want to blame Trump, they're just going to blame him because a lot of people, they don't want to take responsibility. I mean, I just seem like those people that just want to blame Trump for everything. There's a constant pattern in their life where they just don't want to take responsibility for anything. So they're going to blame, they're just going to blame him, and keep blaming him. But I mean, it's not going to, I don't think it's going to really make a difference. But I think that, I don't know. I mean, we're just going to have to wait and see. I don't think people are going to last 6 months. They're like 6 months, June. No, I think if something doesn't happen by the end of April, like people are going to start getting antsy. They're already getting antsy. But
there's a doctor named Dr. Peter Glidden. He's a naturopath.
Mm-hmm.
And he's pretty good. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but check his channel out, Dr. Peter Glidden.
How do you spell his name?
He's been It's Peter, and then Glidden, Glidden. And
Yeah.
he's really good, and he just did like a little mini interview documentary series, interviewing like the best natural paths in the world. So check that out.
Okay, I'm down with that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he's been saying shit like this for like 3 months ever since it came out, and he's been on the money. He's like, I don't believe this shit, da da da. But he was what was I gonna say? Oh shit, I forgot what I thought. He was I forgot what I was gonna say, but damn. But yeah, he's pretty good. So check his channel out, and he just talks about how it'll last like the peak will rise in mid-April, and then it's going to go down in May. And he said if the mainstream media or whoever is controlling this thing is going to keep it going, it's going to be like the American people will not stand for that. Like it's only going to be like one more month.
I thought like
May.
I saw people like hopes starting to rise when he was like, okay, April 12th, and then he was like 30th. People are like, okay, but now
You know
now.
what? After the 15-day spread, like after that spread, you remember the 15 days?
Mhm.
Solar spread. He had a little pamphlet. After that, he was like, yeah, by Monday or whatever, I'm gonna open some stuff up, for business. And then the media's like, oh, America has the most COVID cases of all, of all. Like it just went from like, boom. And I'm like, oh, that's bullshit. I don't know, man. I just don't. I'm sorry. I just don't know.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. But this is the thing. We're like basically making an observation about what we're seeing with our own eyes. Why is that bad? If we saw people dying in the streets, like some of the videos in China and stuff, then I'd be like, oh snap, like something's going on. But I don't, and most people don't. So they're saying something is going on. CBS was just caught, faking news footage, right? People are saying that they're writing off, like other deaths as COVID cases. If there's so many deaths, why do they need to do that? Why are they hiking the numbers up? Why are most of the hospitals empty? Why are people getting laid off? What's going on? We're not being told the truth. But then again, I don't think maybe it's necessarily a bad thing if you believe that there's a war going on and they're just trying to protect the people. But I am still continuing to I just want people to use their head so they don't feel powerless. And, I'm in a position to like say something because a lot of people, I think, they have a job or whatever and they feel like they can't be vocal. So I understand, when I was in a position where I wasn't able to be vocal, I understand how important it is and how gratifying it is to see somebody that has the same train of thought that you have, and especially when you're in a situation when you can't speak up, you have a job or you can't show your face or you know what I mean? So it's very important for your spirit, for your soul to be able to connect with people that do that and to speak your mind. And they want to shut us down for even questioning stuff. And my thing is I just get so mad because they lie all the time.
Sure.
Huh?
Well, for sure, yeah. You can't question anything, like especially with this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you be deemed as a conspiracy theorist. Like, really? Just for questioning, like, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Give me my tinfoil hat.
What?
I said, just give me my tinfoil hat. I'll go home. I don't care. I mean.
I'm like, at least it'll protect me from the 5G.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's crazy, but well, I'm gonna finish my beer and my cigar here, and I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah. I gotta take more calls. I like to talk. I'll be talking forever, but thank you. I'm gonna check out Peter Glenn's channel.
Next time I'll call again next time, and we'll catch up.
Okay. All right. Cool, Kevin. Thank you.
All right,
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Next person. 512-481-7464. 512-481-7464. And Edmund Pudema. I reached out to David Crow too. I'm going to interview him probably sometime next week as well. I just had to, I don't know exactly when, but he got back to me. He seems really cool, so I'm going to interview him. All right. Hey guys, what's going on? Who is this?
Hi, my name is Sherry.
Hey Sherry, what's going on?
Hi. Well, first of all, welcome to Texas.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
Second thing, Can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to say thank you for the information you bring out on your platform, because all the stuff you say is things that I've thought for years but never really knew how to research to prove any of it. So thank you for what you bring out
You're
and
welcome.
for the stuff that you post so we can look for ourselves, you know?
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I get like you don't make me cry. I feel like now in my life I'm finally getting some, I don't know. I don't know if vindication is the right word, but you know, I've been at it for a while. So when anybody says that, it really keeps me going. And this is why I want to do what I want to do. Because people have done that for me, you know? I definitely have
Well,
people
let
be
me tell
that
you.
for me. So I want to pass it on. Huh?
That's awesome. I'm from a generation, let's just say, I'm not going to say how old, but I'm old enough to be your mama. And it makes me very proud to see young black people especially that are woke and that have common sense. Because I know too many people my own age that are totally sold out and bought into the garbage that's out there, you know, from the vaccines to political views to, you know, just, like you say, sheep. And it's very, very sad to see.
Yeah,
but,
I know. Go on. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I'm sorry. No, and I could talk too, so if you need to cut me off, just let me know. First of all, the information that you had on 5G, there was a video that came up in my feed. A pastor was actually talking to his church about this COVID-19, saying not to take any vaccines. That he had information from people. Now I can't verify any of this. I don't know this guy, but
I know what you're talking about. But go on. Yeah.
You know, okay, good.
He's a black guy with the bald head, and he was saying that the 5G is gonna make you sick, and then if you take the vaccine, that will kill you because the virus is in the vaccine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where he got this info, but I thought that was interesting that you were saying the same thing and this guy's saying the same thing.
Well, I know supposedly there was an experimental vaccine that was given out in China too, like around the same time. So that's why I was kind of thinking about that. And then somebody sent me that video. I had two people send me that same video like the same day. That's a theory of mine, but I know not to take any vaccines no matter what. So.
Oh my goodness! I always knew, number one. Do you remember the guy Kevin Trudeau years ago? He used to have these books.
Yes, I have
them. You to know.
Natural Health, Natural Cures. I have two of them. Natural Cures I don't want you to know about. Right? Yeah.
One thing he said that always stuck with me is he said, if anything is mass produced and mass advertised, you need to be suspicious of it. And this was way before they started all the advertising on TV for vaccines and for flu shots and all this kind of stuff. And so since I was a kid, I have never taken any of the flu shots or any of that, and I don't get the flu.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm jumping around here, so please forgive me. But are you familiar with One American News?
Network?
Yes.
I think so.
Okay. They are a national, unbiased source of news. And this morning they had a report on some figures of deaths, comparing it to COVID-19 deaths since January of this year. And worldwide they reported that during this flu season alone, from whenever the flu season began until now, it's been 123,000 deaths from just the seasonal flu. And also, let's see, where was this? For malaria, since January to now, there have been 248,000 deaths from malaria.
Oh, yeah.
HIV/AIDS, almost 500,000. So they have all these stats, and they're saying that there have been about 45 million cases of the flu, and COVID-19 represents only 0.5% of the total cases of the flu. So they're actually, this is from the CDC, and from a report they pulled up from Rochester Health System. And that's where they're reporting that the flu, which they're lumping COVID-19 in with the flu, out of these millions of cases worldwide, COVID-19 only represents 0.5%. So why is the media making such a big deal of this? Why are the politicians making such a big deal of this when there's so many other illnesses that are killing 2 to 3 times more people within a 3-month period than COVID-19? It makes no sense.
I got even that suicides, obesity, and the allopathic. The health industry is the third leading cause of death.
Yes.
So I'm like, now we're supposed to think that they care about our health, really? You know. So what is this really about? You know, what is this really about? I don't think it's about a virus. I don't, you know. And
no, and I don't think it's wrong. I know you said you have that T-shirt where you have something about a conspiracy realist or something like that.
Yeah,
on there.
yeah.
You know, that is so cool. Number one, because we have to use our brains. We have to be able to think and reason. Otherwise, you know, what are we here for?
Yeah.
When you look at what's going on and the way they're promoting, every day I try to watch the press conferences, the White House press conferences on this COVID-19. And when you look at the pattern of what's going on, because of this thing, we're being driven into a form of socialism.
Yes.
Yes.
Especially with the social distancing, you know.
I'm sorry.
Especially with the social distancing, and you know, it's like I feel like I'm on a farm. I hate going to the store now because they have these lines of tape, and we have to like stand in line. But then when you're walking around the store, you're not walking 6 feet away from other people. And when you walk up to the cash register, you're not 6 feet away from the cashier. So how come all the cashiers aren't dead? You know? And even I see smart people that are scared and they're not making these like common sense connections. I'm like, you're not, and they're wiping down the push baskets, but they're not wiping down the hand baskets. I always just get a hand basket. I'm like, well.
I've always done it.
And then people are using hand sanitizer, which if you use a lot of it, you keep using it, it's going to basically dissolve your layer of skin, giving you the protection that you would need to protect yourself from getting sick. It's just, it's nonsensical.
Nonsensical if you think of it in terms of somebody trying to protect themselves. But if you think of it from another angle, that if someone wants to decrease the population and wants to do it in a way that is sort of undercover, then this is a way to impair people's immune systems.
Yeah,
so that they can be affected by things, you know?
Yeah, they can be, and plus the psychosomatic people, you know, they're going to make themselves sick because they're scared. Yeah. So I even saw reports of people going and be like, I think I have it, I need the test. And they're like, no, you don't have it, you're good, you know? Yeah, and hand sanitizer doesn't do anything against the virus anyway. I just saw this guy. You're right. I didn't even get into that, but I'm just like, yeah, it's, you can wash your hands. I'd rather just wash my hands, you know, but, you know, and I've actually had to go into some of the hospitals, and they're standing at the door with the spray bottle of hand sanitizer, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't do that. I'm allergic to it. I don't have time to explain. Well, I'm sensitive to a lot of chemicals and stuff, so I've always had to use like natural soaps and deodorants and all that stuff because I'm real sensitive anyway. But, you know, a lot of those hand sanitizers, they have triclosan, which is a hormone disruptor. They have carcinogens in them. Alcohol's not good for you. It's not good anyway. So I'm just like, well, I just rather wash my hands. You know, if you want me to be clean, you know, I'd rather just wash my hands. So Huh?
I had never thought about it until you brought out the point that the bacteria is still on your hands with the hand sanitizer, and it's there until you wash it off. I had never even thought about that.
Yeah, but you know what? I actually got that from, oh God, I'm gonna see if I can, I'll probably, God, where can I post this? Maybe I can post in this comment section after it's over. I don't know. I can't remember. My best friend who founded the channel with me, she doesn't do YouTube, but she curates a lot of stuff for the Facebook page, and she found this really good video of this guy explaining that, about like how it's, if you're gonna be clean, if you want to be clean, it's better to wash your hands with like soap, because it does do that, right? You're just killing. If you believe that you're killing stuff, it's still gonna stay in your hands until you like wash it off. But yeah, everything pretty much is contaminated too. We are bacteria. There are viruses around us all the time. I mean, I'm not paranoid about that stuff. And I don't want to live my life in fear. And, and it's also encouraging people to tattletale on people. One of my friends was saying they called the police on her because her daughter was playing in the park.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah. So all these people, and then what also is really just kind of frustrating me too, I know people personally that don't take care of their self, but now they want to be all healthy and stuff and tell you like to wear a mask. But you're like drinking in like a fish every day and doing hard drugs and on pharmaceuticals and smoking and, eating processed food. And now you want to, be like, if you're doing all that stuff too, that's going to lower your immune system and make you sick. So, like, a mask isn't going to help you.
Well, what it's doing is people are being mass conditioned
Yeah.
for groupthink.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's like a worldwide brainwashing, and because it's so new, and because people don't know exactly what it is, and most people don't know that there's more deaths and more infections from other illnesses, because this is what's dominating the media. So it's this massive peddling of fear, and people have this groupthink mentality of, I'm going to die if I touch a raw vegetable or something in the store. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it's what's dominating the news, and it's what all people see.
Yeah, and that's why I don't even watch the news. I mean, I have to, I try and keep up with some. I don't even watch all the press conferences. I'm starting to just, I've had to like, I keep saying I'm not going to go on Facebook, and then I go on Facebook, and then I regret it because I see some people that I'm disappointed in, some people that I feel like I should know better that are freaking out over this, But I think also what I've had to realize too, and, forgive, is with fear, people lose their train of thought, their critical thinking skills. I mean, even in a intense state of fear, people, they lose their bowel functions. They can't talk, they can't speak, they can't move. So with the media, or with the what the TV news is doing, when you watch this stuff, your brain goes into an alpha state. So you're already in a state of like hypnosis anyway. And then they're just implanting the fear into you, and and then other people say, oh, it must be real because the NBA's shutting down, and my little cousin, he's 18, all right, smart already. He's very wise, and he can see through stuff. And I have another friend that's, older, like in his 40s, and he was saying, well, I don't believe that it's possible for, different countries to get together to coordinate something like this. But my 18-year-old cousin was like, well, doesn't that show you like how much power that they have if they're able to do this, So, 18, or he's 17. I think he's not 18 yet. He's going to be 18 in July.
He hasn't. I'm glad that he's got this ability to think and make sense of things for somebody so young. That's terrific. Along those lines, for people that know the Bible and know Bible prophecy, what that very conversation right there in the end, there's supposed to be a world ruler that arises who we call the Antichrist. You know, everybody in the world knows about the Antichrist. They just don't really know it's from the Bible.
Yeah.
But in order, how's that going to happen? In order for one person to rise up and say, you know, and to basically dominate the entire known world of culture, the only way to do that is to have a massive groupthink mentality. The only way to do that is to call out the population and have only people that believe the way you believe and are willing to be controlled. You know, so to have people in power, you know, it's like everything is moving towards that. But I wanted to jump off of that and bring this one thing in. There's a channel called Skywatch TV, and it's hosted by a couple. One of them, the woman, I don't know if she completed her degree, but she was studying to be a molecular biologist. And she was accepted into her PhD program without, strictly on the basis of a paper that she wrote. She didn't go through the proper channels anyway. So all that to give her to say that she has some credibility in what she's saying. One of the things that they brought out was that there are two scientists that are currently working in the research lab in China, in Wuhan. They're from the States, or at least they were working in the States. They were working on a virus to find. They were working on a vaccine. They were trying to find out how to prevent a virus that was known only in bats and that could only be transmitted through a third party, say from bat to dog to human. It did not go directly from bat to human. So they were trying to work on a vaccine to prevent this, you know, this virus, which is a coronavirus, from going to bats to human. And so they were trying to develop this vaccine, and it was such a dismal failure. And apparently something happened. It was considered very dangerous. Their peers were telling them they needed to shut this down because it was way too dangerous. Well, these two particular researchers are now at this lab in Wuhan. And so that it started in Wuhan, it's like this really, got to be some really huge coincidence, or there's something, you know, underhanded there.
Yeah,
and like I said, this is it's a news channel, and they report scientific news on Fridays. That's what they do.
Skywatch TV, it's on YouTube.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Skywatch TV, it's on YouTube.
Skywatch TV, it's a part of, what is that? It's a part of another channel. But anyway, just either look for Sci Friday or Skywatch TV, and you can find them.
Okay. All right. Well, cool. I guess I need to go on to the next caller because I have about another hour. I'm doing another hour. I'm trying to talk to as many people as I can. But thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you, and thank you for what you do. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate the appreciation. Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Love to you. Good night.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. 512. Oh, shoot. 512. I was about to put 481-7464. 512-481-7464. Oh, I didn't give. Let's do this now. Who needs a $50 gift certificate? I'm giving this away. Hello? Anybody need this? Anybody knows somebody that can use this? Who is broke right now and eating like dry rice? Who is? Hey, what's going on? Who is this?
Hey.
Hey, what's
How
your
are
name?
you?
What's good? How are you? What's your name?
My name's Stephanie. I'm calling from Connecticut, and my sister's in California, and she's listening live too.
Hey.
Um,
Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Stephanie's sister. What's your sister's name? I'm just writing her names down so I don't forget.
her name is Brenda.
Hey, Brenda. What's
And,
going on?
So the thing. So first of all, thank you for the info that you put out, and So I just want to say, me and my sister and the rest of my family, we were actually, well, not the rest of me and my siblings, we were born into a really fundamentalist cult that sort of really oppressed our minds and brainwashed us. And, we know how that goes. We know how brainwashing goes. And
Wait,
I was
hold
just
on one
wondering-
second. Could you speak a little louder?
Yeah, totally.
Oh, that's so
I
much
was
better,
just
yeah.
saying how my siblings and I were actually born into a cult, and my family and I were kind of in the process of waking up to all of that brainwashing that we went through as a family, and it's happening just as we're also kind of waking up to what's going on with the current situation and the crisis. And I was wondering if you can maybe speak to, because I know you have been doing this work for a long time, and people have been, things are coming true. People are witnessing things that people have been talking about for years and years and years. But there's also people who are just now kind of coming into an awareness of what's going on.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of fear on planet Earth right now. And so I'm wondering what are your thoughts on how to quell that fear, even though it is a scary situation. But at the end of the day, it's almost like we're being tested as us as human beings. And so I'm wondering, what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I just think the best thing is just to talk about it and to give people the space to kind of, I don't know, like, you kind of stumped me because I have been thinking about this last week. I'm like, with everything that's going on, if this whole thing is true, with the kids getting rescued and the dumbs being raided, a lot of stuff is going to come to light, and it's going to be very traumatic for people. And how are people going to deal with that? And when I have a friend that was in a satanic cult too, and I have another cousin. I never really talked to her about it. I would like to maybe in the future, but that was also in a cult. But when I started realizing this stuff was true years ago, I went into a depression. It was very hard for me. I would have nightmares just thinking about it, just knowing that this stuff existed. So I can't even imagine what the people that actually went through it are going through,
Yeah.
Maybe I was thinking about just, giving people the platform to talk about it. I feel like it's the best that I can do because I like to talk. I try and be a good listener when I'm not being cocky in my rants and stuff. People see the human side of it, and I think people need to understand how people can get sucked into something like that, because I think with cults as well. Oh, and I also had a roommate that was in Scientology, and she would tell me some stuff. But she wasn't really a nice person, so I mean, this sounds kind of mean. I didn't really, it was weird. I didn't like her because she wasn't a nice person, but I didn't think she was lying. But anyway, I think that people a misconception about that people have is that you're stupid. Like, people get sucked into cults because they're unintelligent. But
I find that's a big misconception that people have, because it has nothing to do with your intelligence, and everything to do with how very powerful people are able to figure out, get really, really informed as to how the human brain works, how it can be hijacked and manipulated, just like a computer.
Yes,
can be hijacked. Our brains can be hijacked as well. And anyway, I just wanted to call and say hi and thank you for the work that you do, and to just
thank
send
you.
the good vibes and love to you.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, I want to ask you a question. So your whole family's out?
Actually, no. My mother is still in it.
Oh, wow.
And my parents are still married, and so that causes a lot of trauma within the family and a lot of arguments and drama. But I'm thankful that my sister and I, my brother and my dad, we've all woken up to what has been going on. And it's a very powerful family in Mexico who has been manipulating the members of the cult for almost 100 years. and the
Wow.
leader is actually under custody right now in Los Angeles. He was arrested for 26 counts of production of child pornography, human trafficking, all of this stuff. His name is Nathan Joaquin Garcia, and the cult is called The Light of the World. If people are interested to Google it, to get informed, you might know somebody who's in it. And so in this collective awakening that's happening, I feel like, yes, we need to wake up to all the things that our government is doing, and also all these other institutions that people are a part of that humanity isn't even aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
And so I think it's really important to bring awareness to that.
Well, I wanted to say too, like, it is magic. I think it's a form of black magic. You know, I've joked about it in some of my rants,
yes,
but
yes.
it's black magic. And I think you just gave me another idea too, teaching people about psychology. Because it's weird. Psychology is kind of weird because when they diagnose people, they vote on it. So it's very subjective, right? It's not objective.
Yeah.
Like with science, you have to have like a test and it's mathematical, so there's no feelings involved. But psychology, it still can be left open to interpretation, right? But it is real. It's very real. And like you said, you can hijack somebody's mind by the words that you say, or you figure them out and you can manipulate them. And that, to me, that's just like sorcery. It actually, you know, what's going on with this COVID-19, you can even say it's magic. The media is involved in a form of black magic. Celebrities are involved in it. It's all like kind of like the same thing. But I think, you know, once people, I mean, people go to school, right, to learn advertising. They go like for, you know, to learn, you know, colors and symbols and music. They all have magic, right? And I think you can be inspired by somebody, right? But the thing you have to distinguish is this person making you dependent on them or making you inspired so you can go off and do your own thing and be independent? And that's what the cult leaders, they like feed off your energy and they make you dependent.
Absolutely.
That's the negative thing. Because I'm not, like, I like music. I want to make music, and I do make music, and I want to have people to support me to do that. But if I want to inspire them. It's a give take when you do that, right? So are you just taking people's energy, or are you giving them energy and taking back and giving, or are you exchanging energy? So I think your idea will be good to have people talk about psychology and why it works. I think these are just like I talk about a lot of medical stuff. You know, I honestly think about like we should learn how to plant our own food and grow our own food and learn how our immune system works. We should know about psychology so people can't do this stuff to us. And you know, I have one of my friends I grew up with, like he's learned hypnosis. He knows hypnosis, and he was talking about, you know, you can use this for evil if you wanted to, you know, and neuro-linguistic programming and all of that stuff. So if people understood that on a mass scale, they can understand when people are trying to use it against them. And they can know how to do it themselves to empower them. So I think, you know, one of my best friends, her first husband was very manipulative and narcissistic, and she you know, to the effects of to this day, this was years ago, she's divorced and remarried, but to this day, she's had some psychological stuff that she's had to work through. But she's learned a lot about narcissistic personalities, and she did a shit ton of research and all that stuff, and it's really helped her to become more empowered. So she understands. And but it's funny, even out of that relationship, now she can see how it's being done on a mass scale through media and everything else. You see it once you know.
Exactly.
You can't like unknow, and you know that like how it's being done. You know, it's like the Wizard of Oz, right? Like the guy, he's unveiled. You know what's behind the curtain now. It's not like a big mystery.
Exactly. Yeah. I was telling my dad earlier today because I spent a lot of my teenage years just being very angry, saying, why did this happen to me? Why did this have to happen to us, being born in a cult and then your entire reality shattering? And I truly feel that it's so that our minds could be stronger so that we can handle the situation that's currently happening now, and to be able to see through all of the manipulation that's happening. And the thing that you were talking about earlier about it being magic, I actually I totally agree with that. And the thing is that we're made to feel like we're crazy. It's like you think that casting spells and magic that's actually real. There's always a 3D reason for everything, and
Yeah.
when we realize that there are things happening in the ether that we cannot even perceive with
Yeah.
our minds. A cat doesn't know that the internet is a thing, so the human mind obviously is going to be unaware of different frequencies and things that are happening. And so even like today, I'm currently in grad school, and all of our classes and all of our work has moved online. And it's I was talking to this woman who was back in her home state and saying that she's happy because the government in her state is handling this crisis really well, and that they just fired this one guy who was in government who was an anti-vax nut job. And I'm thinking, wow, humanity is so propagandized
Yeah.
into this idea that, yeah, I'm just going to inject this fucking potion made out of
Yeah.
human tissue and cow blood, and fucking that's going to make me safe.
Yeah, that's
Literally-
witchcraft. It's like witchcraft, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
saw this thing with Macbeth where they were like, I have newt, toe of frog, and I have bat and tongue of frog, and I'm like, they're making vaccines. Like, what is that?
Exactly.
I was like,
Yeah.
how did they know back then? That's crazy, you know? So I think that, like,
Yeah, I work in theater, and so I'm like like Shakespeare, and like he knew what was up, and like all
Yeah,
the
he
girls
did,
in theater
dude.
kidding me.
yeah, that was my major too. I was a double in theater arts and music composition, so I had to learn all that shit too.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't say
Very cool.
shit too, but I mean, like, it's cool because I'm glad I had to take lighting design and costume design and writing and all that other stuff. It made me well rounded, you know. So it was
Yeah.
great. It was great. I wanted to ask you another question real fast. How does it feel to have that guy arrested and in custody?
Oh my goodness! When he got arrested this past summer in June, and I remember I was in my room and my sister texted me a screenshot of like a Los Angeles Times article. It said, "Leader of religious group arrested on 26 counts of production of child." I could not stop shaking. The adrenaline in my body was on another level because I never thought that I would have seen something like that in my lifetime.
Oh wow.
There are generations of families in Mexico and the United States and all over the world who have been just manipulated by this family into giving them all of their wealth to fund their lavish lifestyles for them then to have harems of underage girls dance and have sex with them and bathe them as if they're King fucking David in the Bible, and they use Bible verses to manipulate them into thinking that that's a good thing.
Wow.
And so I could not believe that I saw that, because I didn't think that that would have happened in our lifetime. And I'm so happy that it did. And now there's an awakening happening within the cult, and people are leaving in mass. And I just can't wait for him to get convicted and for this organization to just completely fall down, because it has been going on for way too long. And I can only imagine what our reaction is to when more of these things that are happening in our government get revealed. Things that people don't even perceive could be possible because we're not exposed to unadulterated evil in our personal lives. And so from our place wanting to think that people are good, we can't even imagine that there are these evils happening in the world. But they are happening.
Yeah.
They're happening right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I was so I would think I was talking earlier about the kids and how I actually, you know, my mom is, I would say she's somebody that's not pretty woke, but I couldn't go to sleep last night because I was actually excited thinking that this might be real and this might really be the thing that's going to break, because I've known about this for years, but I've just felt helpless. I don't know what to do. You know, I think you learn about a lot of the stuff and you just feel like what can you do about it? It's so massive and it's so prominent. And I was kind of laying in bed, I was crying a little bit as I was talking to her, but I was just like, you know, I think something's going to break. And I'm like, I'll put it this way. I think it's going to be bigger than what was that guy in England? The Jimmy Savile, or the Philadelphia, or no, what was the thing? Oh, I can't think of. There was another one that happened a few years ago too. But I'm like, I think it's going to be bigger than that. I'm like, just wait. I could be wrong, but I really feel like, it's going to be something that's going to be very, very, very big. But what you went through, you're going to be a really good person to be able to help the people that have been rescued. You know?
Yeah.
I can't do it on the level that you can do it. It's like I can tell somebody that's overweight to, like, stop eating junk food and stuff. But if I've never been overweight before, like, they're gonna be like, yeah, right, like drug counselors are the best people. The best people to counsel people that are on drugs are the people that have already been on drugs and have gotten off of drugs.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that personal experience that sometimes it takes for somebody else for that resonance to happen. And my only hope is that whatever happens after this, however we start to gather again, I hope that with what I'm, the knowledge that I'm gaining and the skills that I'm gaining currently in grad school, to be able to create space for people who are hungry for the truth to come together and, like, this is just the vibes that I've been receiving. It's like, what new spiritual, and I don't even want to call it religious or spiritual, because it's more just about being a human being on planet Earth and how we survive, and how, connecting to our ancestors that have always wanted to worship something bigger than themselves, even whatever archetype that they have latched onto. What are the new archetypes that are going to be created out of this moment? And that's what I'm really excited for. And that's something that actually gives me hope. Because even, when organisms, different things, when an animal, like when anything is about to die, that's when it screams the loudest. And so that's what gives me hope, is like these systems are falling apart right before our eyes. And it's actually a really exciting time to be alive.
Oh my God, you gave me a lot of hope too. I'm happy for you. I'll pray for your mom, and that she gets out. You're really lucky that your sister and your dad are out though. Like not everybody even gets that. It's like most people just escape by themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I think you and your sister and your father, you're going to be the people that can actually help these people kind of make a transition, because, I was talking about my friends about this today. The Jerry Sandusky, thank you. Sorry, that's what I was thinking about. The Jerry Sandusky.
The football guy, right?
Yeah. That sex ring, whatever. So what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, like like you're gonna be the people that are gonna be able to do that for those people. They're people, a lot of those kids have been bred outside of society. They've never seen the light of day. Like, they don't even know that there's another way of life other than being abused. So they're going to have to transition, and people like your family are going to be the people that can really understand where they're coming from and help them to do that. I can maybe have talk shows and talk about it and interviews and stuff, but I'm not going to be able to get down and connect with them on that level, And it might be even healing for you. Might be hard for you, but might even be even more healing for you too, to be able to help somebody, because that's one way that you can heal yourself too, is through helping other people.
Absolutely.
But I should get going. I gotta.
Totally.
Thank you so much for calling. Tell your dad and your sister I said hi. I'm so happy for you too. It just makes me like, that's great news, really. All right.
Totally. Thank you, and good vibes. Good vibes to you.
Yeah, good vibes to you. Much love to you, Stephanie. Mwah. And thanks for calling.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye. Hey, I gotta give away this MasterCard. Does anybody? Hello, who is this? Who am I talking to?
Hi. Oh my gosh, my name is April. I can't believe I got through.
Hey, April, how are
Can
you?
you hear me?
Yeah, could you speak up a little louder?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm okay. How are you doing?
I'm well.
Gosh, sorry. I'm nervous. I'm kind of introverted.
Okay.
Even the phone is. But yeah, I've been watching you for 2 or 3 years, and I really always just wanted to talk to you to thank you because I'm really struggling right now. We don't vaccinate our child, and I don't have much of a support system. And it's hard to speak out when you're alone like this, you know?
Yeah.
So it's really, it's really important, for people who can, that do. But I just wanted to tell you kind of a quick little story, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's a good. Where are
And,
do you, what are you in the U.S. or what state are you in? Are you like?
oh yes, I'm in the U.S. I'm in Louisiana. I'm not that far from you.
So do you have all three of your exemptions there?
Well, I don't know. I think you can get a religious exemption.
Okay.
I know they're trying to make that hard. I had planned to homeschool my daughter, and then we found a sort of like a hybrid homeschool academy where she wouldn't have to get vaccinated.
Oh, cool.
But then we kind of decided to move back to Illinois because we moved here from Illinois because this is where my family is. But when we were in Illinois, it was much easier, like with our doctor and stuff, with our daughter not being vaccinated. But we moved down here because I wanted to be closer to my family, which was a mistake because they all turned on me because they're like insane pro-vaxxers.
Oh, wow.
So, but not long after we got here, my daughter turned 3, and we were at the park. She had a play date, and the kids she was playing with, they were coughing and green snot coming out their nose and everything. And she's the healthiest kid. To that point in her life, she had never been sick, like never, nothing, not even a fever, unless she was teething.
Yeah.
And so I left the park at 4:00. By 8:00 that night, she had pneumonia. And we went to the hospital. We went to the emergency room, and they misdiagnosed her. They sent us home, and it just kept getting worse. I was afraid she was going to die. So we took her to urgent care, where they treated us like total shit. Instead of,
No, it's
instead
okay.
of treating her, they were lecturing me, about vaccines. And they didn't give us a nebulizer. They gave her a shot of some antibiotic we never heard of, which she had a reaction to, and we ended up back in the emergency room. And I forget how many times we ended up.
Was it erythromycin? Do you know?
Oh,
The antibiotic? Yeah.
It was something like Rocefin,
Okay.
but there's another name for it.
Okay.
It's a different name if it's injected or if it's oral.
Okay.
So we ended up, I don't know how many times, in the emergency room. And the last time that we were in the emergency room, she was actually doing better, but the thing that they put on her finger was too big, so it wasn't measuring her oxygenation level properly. But there was a really awesome resident, and he would come in, he would hold it on her finger, and he would get an accurate reading. And so he was telling us that, it looks like, she might be able to go home. Or, he was being really cool about it. He was the only person who didn't give us any crap about not vaccinating. Well, we had to see the pediatrician before we could leave. Well, the resident told us that they were going to wean her off of the oxygen because if they just pulled it off, her oxygen levels were going to plummet, and that was going to scare us, and it was going to scare her, and it was going to give them a false reading. And we're like, okay, and he really made us feel at ease. Well, our pediatrician comes in, and the first thing he says is, I'm Dr. So-and-so, and you are, and, I'm like, April? He's like, the parent. I'm the doctor, and you're the parent.
Oh, what an asshole.
The attitude.
Ah.
And so he, every single person, when you don't vaccinate your kid, if you take them to the hospital or anywhere, every single person that comes into that room will ask you, are your vaccines up to date? Every single time.
Yeah.
We must have been asked 20 to 30 times.
It's like they're in a cult. It's like a horror movie, yeah.
For real, though, for real.
I mean,
So,
go on. I've heard this a lot. You're not the only one. I swear, I've heard this so many times. But go on. I'm not saying don't tell me, but tell me. But I'm saying it's so common.
But the doctor, the pediatrician, he called me lazy. He called me fringe. just gullible. I mean, just the whole thing about the vaccines. And then he just straight up unplugged my daughter's oxygen. And of course, it went from 98 down to like 90. And he was like, "Oh, looks like you're going to be staying overnight," and like just smirked at us.
Did you? You didn't have your phone out, huh? Did you?
No, I didn't. I mean, I was so. By that point, that might have been like that could have been our third trip to the ER, because she kept getting, like, they were more interested in lecturing us about vaccines and testing her for strep than actually treating her. So I don't think it's just down here, but they were obsessed with strep. You could go in with anything, and I don't know what the deal was, but so anyway, we ended up being there overnight, and because they had to change her antibiotic, and they were insisting on giving her Tylenol. I had to like argue with people, and just to get them to give her Motrin, because the Tylenol wouldn't work, because I knew the Motrin would take her fever down, but it was like they didn't want it to come down. You know, I felt like they were just making things worse to keep her there, because this isn't the first time that this happened.
Because no, and you know what? Like I was in a vaccine group a few years ago, and there are actually people in the medical industry that are in those groups too, and not just. I mean, parents and nurses are. I mean, doctors and nurses are also parents. Go figure. But this one nurse was like saying that he noticed that they're trained to do that too. They try and like kind of torture the kids just to make the parents comply.
Yeah.
To make them feel guilty.
No,
There's even
that happened to us when she was an infant. She was actually had a home birth, but she had jaundice, and she was born on Christmas Eve.
Uh-huh.
So by the time we got to the doctor, we ended up being in the hospital for like a week. And they were poking her, and of course with all trying to do all kind of tests on her, and of course this is after they knew what was wrong. But they were using the fact that she was crying from being poked as an excuse to run more tests.
They're psychotic. I mean, I've actually...
We're like, I'm so pissed off. We finally decided to get out of this state, and now we're stuck here. Because of the whole thing,
The COVID, yeah.
The whole BS. But
it's, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I just... and like I said, like I've heard this story so many times. I mean, I won't go into it now. I might make a video about it later. I've had my issues with asshole doctors as well. But I know that I've gotten some messages privately from some people that say that they're doctors and they watch the channel and they appreciate what I do. But I don't hate to rag on all doctors, but this is why people hate doctors, because a lot of people have experiences with people like that. And I think as a society too, we're kind of brainwashed to believe if people have, certain degrees, that they're not just more educated in a particular field, but they're just better human beings. And, and that's not true, but they carry themselves as such. But just the fact that he would come in and be like, I'm the doctor, you're the parent. Oh, hell no.
Yeah, like he had to put us in our place.
Yeah, I mean, like, can you be compassionate? Pneumonia is a very serious thing. I would literally get pneumonia, bronchitis at least once or twice a year because I always had respiratory issues and stuff. So, and it's so weird. I was talking to a friend about this not too long ago. I heard when I was, a few years ago, like, I don't know, 80s, whatever, that there were people that didn't vaccinate their kids, but it wasn't like a big thing. It was like, oh, okay. But now, the media and the pharmaceutical industry have made it into like this war, and
well, like,
go on.
I was just going to say, I don't want to take up all your time, but the reason I decided not to vaccinate is because in my 20s, I worked 2 jobs. In the daytime, I worked in a special school, like they call them TMH. At that time, it's like severe and profound mentally and physically handicapped kids and adults. And I also at night worked at the animal hospital. And I started, learning about like some of the kids that we worked with were actually vaccine damaged, which I hadn't even heard of at that point.
Yeah.
And when I worked at the animal hospital, I actually worked at a few different ones over like a course of about 10 years. And I realized that the healthiest animals were the ones that didn't come to the vet. What really opened my eyes was, it was a walk-in clinic and it was really busy, and I was training to be a tech. So I actually got to stand in on some of the surgeries. I didn't, do anything, just like, help the doctor hold stuff and everything. But we were pulling, big tumors out of very young dogs, and they had been to all their checkups, they had all their shots, everything. And then one day a man came in with a 16-year-old lab, 16 years old, and he had a tumor not even as big as a marble. And he had never been to the vet, never had any shots. And everybody was freaking out and judging this guy. And I'm like, dude, the dog is 16. Like maybe he's doing something right.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I started thinking about that, and not long after that, I found out I was pregnant. And I had decided, like, I was not vaccinating. I kind of, like, dove into all this stuff, But there's a lot of kids that are vaccine damaged that it gets written off as something else because there were so many kids with the same problems, and their parents had the same stories. And I could think of at least 20, and only one of them was successful suing in Bears. And they already had money. They just wanted to make sure their son was taken care of after they died.
Yeah, a lot of those people, it takes like 10 years to win. It takes a long time to win. It's really hard. And then, and most of that.
They had money, they had a huge family. Like, I can't, you know what I mean? They had a support system.
Yeah.
And they had the money. You know what I mean? Not everybody had that.
Yeah, I know. And that makes all the difference too, just having a support system. Because I've told some of my friends too, if they get pregnant, like you need to make sure that you have a support system. I don't know if you saw, I interviewed one of my friends, Brooke, and she was saying that, the first time her kid was vaccine injured, but the second time she didn't want to get vaccines, but because she didn't really have a support system there, she still was bullied into making a vaccines. Like they wouldn't let her go, basically, And then the last time she was like, I had my mom there, my aunt there. She goes, I had an army of people there just to make sure, that Did you vaccinate your daughter that had pneumonia? Still after they bullied you and stuff?
No. And
wow, good for
they did a
you.
really good job with bullying me because this is the other part of the story I forgot. They did a really good job of bullying me because I felt guilty, and I went home and I started researching everything. And when I was researching that pneumonia vaccine, I found out, first of all, it wasn't even mandatory when she was the age that she would have got it. They did it at 2 and 6. And the one that they did at 2 isn't even effective, but it can shed. And one of the little boys she was playing with, the mom had told me they had just got their vaccines that day. I didn't know about shedding. And the little boy she was playing with, one was 2 and one was 4. So if the 2-year-old got all his vaccines, he probably got the pneumonia vaccine, and she probably got it from him shedding.
Yeah.
Because she didn't have a cold. She went from being perfectly healthy to in the hospital in 4 hours.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy too? You're not supposed to get vaccinated while you're sick. So even if that's the thing too. If you get a vaccine, it's supposed to be a preventative. You're not supposed to get.
They wanted to start vaccinating my daughter. We actually got kicked out of. We had to do a recheck, and so we had just moved to the state. We had to find a pediatrician. So I called this pediatrician. I asked, do you see unvaccinated patients? The secretary's like, yeah. We make an appointment, and we go in there, and he acts like he has no idea she's not vaccinated, and then he basically, he accuses me of listening to Jenny McCarthy, which
of course.
I thought I heard him wrong, because I don't know anything about her except that I think she married Dennis Rodman in the 90s.
No, I know, but they just think that we read the Andrew Wakefield paper and listened to Jenny McCarthy, and that's all our information. That's all they think we have. And they're butthurt. They're butthurt because.
I had been down this rabbit hole for 10 years before I even heard of because I actually lost my first pregnancy when I decided not to vaccinate, but I kept researching, and it was probably 10 years later before I even heard of what's his name? Wakefield.
Yeah.
Wakefield. I even know about him. I decided not to vaccinate because of my own experience working with children and animals,
Yeah.
getting vaccine in your children
Yeah.
and seeing how much healthier the animals were. That's what got me started on this. But that doctor actually kicked us out of his office and told us to never come back.
Wow.
He gave us the release form, the extra, everything we needed, and then just kicked us out.
And
But,
that sucks too, because this is why people really are starting to have a disdain for doctors. It should be a partnership between doctor and patient, but they're becoming bullies, and it's their brainwashing, it's their training. I'm not excusing what they're doing, and not all doctors are like that, but a lot of them are. I've definitely heard a lot of people say, and like I said, I've had my own experiences, not with vaccines, but with a few other things that I've been through. I've had great experiences with doctors too, but I've also had, people need to get it through their head too. Just because you're a doctor doesn't mean that you're a benevolent person, and I think a lot of people get that confused too.
I have an ex-friend. We used to be really close a long time ago, and then as we got older, I realized she was kind of narcissistic, and she's a nurse. When I was in college, I had a hard time in math, so I had to take 102 and 108. There was a bunch of nursing students, and they were only in nursing because there was the least amount of math. Not everybody that goes in the medical field goes in there because they want to help people. Some people just want to be
Oh yeah.
seen as, my friend.
Yeah, it's ego, right? They want to be seen as
everybody
important.
automatically thinks she's compassionate.
Yes, no, it's true. No, it's a good point. Even as a teacher, I realized that too. I was like, how come there's so many teachers that hate kids? How are you a teacher and you hate kids?
I know.
Right? They're the worst people
Or
ever.
a disguise.
Well, I'm gonna have to.
It's I'm a teacher. I'm a patient.
Yeah, I know, but you're right. That's a really good point that you make, for sure. I want to say this. Oh, did you want to say something? And then I. Oh, okay.
Just before I go, I just wanted to say one more quick thing, but go ahead.
Let me say this and I'll forget, and then I'll say that. One of the first documented serial killers was a doctor. Did you know that?
No, but it sounds about right.
You should. It's this guy named H.H. Holmes, and he basically.
Did he kill his wife?
Maybe, but let me tell you his story. This dude went to medical school, and he had money, and he had a hotel built. And what he would do, he had secret passageways in the hotels. So he would get a contractor to build half of the passageway, and then fire that one, and then hire another one, and then have him build it and fire that one, and have another one. So nobody knew where his passageways went. And he would have this hotel, and he would kidnap travelers. So they'd be in their bedroom, and the dresser drawer would slide back, and then it would be a passageway. And that's how he'd kidnap the people. And he would rape and torture them or whatever. And then he would sell their skeletons back to the medical school and their organs.
Oh,
but he was a doctor. But the thing is, because he was a doctor, people gave them their trust. And some doctors have God complexes,
Oh, for real.
and some people,
I
a lot,
remember
and teachers
that.
too, teachers, any position where people give their power away to you and give their trust, there's a high potential for people to manipulate that. Pedophiles, teachers, they're going to be around where the children are. They're going to,
Access,
So, but say this, and then I should take one last caller before I go.
Okay. I just want to say one thing really quick. I have a friend, her husband's an epidemiologist, and he works for a lab, and he is saying that this is spreading the way that a vaccine sheds. And that's his job. They're trying to figure this out. I'm just throwing that out there.
So so he thinks it's a vaccines and it's shedding?
Yes.
Okay.
Because the symptoms my friend actually called me because my daughter's symptoms that she had 3 years ago are the same as what they're talking about now. It was viral pneumonia, and he thinks it's viral pneumonia and that it's spreading through the vaccine. But anyway, that's all I want to say.
Wow, that's interesting. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you for calling. I'll pray for your family. We got a lot of praying to do tonight.
Yeah, right.
Hopefully you can get out soon. But girl,
thank you for everything you do.
Oh, you're welcome. You're the people that keep me going when you come in and say this, because especially before they start doing the mandates or trying to do the mandates and stuff, I was just kind of like starting to give up. I'm just like, well, I know I'm not getting vaccines, and I maybe I should just be quiet because I don't feel like, anybody cares. But like when I hear that people actually like look into some of the stuff that I say, and one of my friends decided not to vaccinate her kid, and he's super healthy, super smart, super bright, you know.
Yeah, my daughter's the healthiest person I know.
Yeah, and
And so
all my
smart.
friends, huh?
And so smart.
Yeah, and
I don't have to teach her stuff. It's amazing. She picks things up so quickly.
yeah, no, seriously. And my other friend, she's a teacher, and she talks about all the kids that are vaccinating her class and how like just she has like she said 20 something students in her class, and like 8 of them have speech problems.
Mhm.
It's insane. And everybody goes up to her son and it's just like, he's so intelligent, he's so articulate, he's so healthy, he's so bright, he has a spark in his eye, like, so I mean that's why I do what I do. I just want people to know, because people aren't given the truth. They're not given true informed consent. And I have so many friends too doing this for a while whose lives are just destroyed. I don't want to say they're destroyed, because I think a lot of them also have found happiness. They found ways to deal with it. But, I have friends, kids rub feces on their face, bang their head up against the wall. Their children can't walk.
I know.
They're
I took care
paralyzed.
of autistic
Huh?
kids for like 6 years. I took care of autistic kids for about 6 years as an assistant and also as a respite worker.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine, like, just 6 hours a day. I couldn't imagine if that was my life. And I'm not
Yeah.
even trying to sound mean or anything. I don't think I could do it.
Oh, girl, and it's not even just, it destroys the whole family, because it's like the siblings get like, they have tension and like animosity toward the child that's sick because they get the attention. The divorce rate is high. You're basically trapped inside your house. You don't get dates and stuff. You don't get to go out. The discrimination that you face, you think like being black is bad. I don't think it's bad, but I'm just saying there are people that cry all day
Yeah,
about
no,
like
I know
how much it hurts to be
yeah.
black, but try being a special needs person, that's discrimination. So I just, I just want people to know, and I'm going to focus more this year too on trying to help people understand what they can do without being, without getting vaccines to make themselves healthier. Because I think a lot of people too, they understand that they're bad, but they also think that like, they're like, oh, well, what else are we going to do? What else do I have? So that's kind of like my next goal, is to get better with that. So, yeah.
Well, sorry to take up so much time.
Oh, girl, it's fine. I will talk and talk and talk. It's okay. You didn't take, I mean, I have the power to be like, I gotta go, so I chose to talk this long, so don't worry about it. One more caller, but thanks, girl, mwah, and have a great night.
Thank you, too.
Okay, bye-bye. One last call. How am I gonna give this away? Y'all want this? I'm thinking of a 2-digit, I'll give it away in the chat. I'm thinking of a 2-digit number between 1 and 100. Person that, and I wrote it down, the person that gets this, gets it right or closest, by the end of the stream, I will give you the $50. It's a Target MasterCard, but I think you can use it anywhere. I don't think you have to use it at Target. 3312. Then I can also review. And then I'll take one last call and I'll be watching. 512 481 7464. One in 100. Who put 1 million? Anybody want to call? right. Just keep. I'll have to review. Hold on one second, caller. I'm gonna have to review. I'll review it. And I'll say the winner next week, and then you can email me your address, and I'll send it to you. All right. And I'll tell you. I'll show you at the end of the call, and then I'll review to see who was closest, and then I'll tell you to email me your address so I can send it to you. Okay. I think that's how I do it. All right. Hey, hi. How are you? Who is this? What's your name?
Hey, Coach. Hi. My name is Denise Henson. I'm a Navy veteran, and I just want to thank you for what you do. I have a friend whose grandmother died at the age of 94, cancer, 8 years, okay? And all of a sudden it's the COVID-19, okay? Oh, are you talking?
No. I'm writing. Sorry, there are people trying to get through, and I'm writing your name down, Denise. Okay, go on, Denise.
Okay. Anyway, so I have that situation, and then this comes up with this governor and this baby, and it's like more and more we're seeing how the numbers are being fudged. It's like I've got a lot of veteran friends of mine that are wanting to be up in arms. Like, I'm 60 now, so I'm too old to be called back, to the military. But there's a lot of us that are willing and ready to stand up for the president at any given moment. It's like I went to Say Yes to Life 2020, and that was awesome. And I saw so many young people that are so supportive of America now, and I am so thankful to God that this is happening, and I do see the spirit is being poured out now that like I've never seen it before, and the fact that we've got so many people now on YouTube. I just saw, who is it, Brandon Tatum, I think, today was talking about you earlier today, I think he was. So it's like, all you guys are starting to get connected and everything, and I think that's pretty cool, So I just keep praying for America, and I'm just looking for the Lord to come at any moment. And I did not vaccinate any of my kids. They were all 80 children. They were all super brilliant, okay? And all super healthy.
Wait. 80 children?
Yep, one was 80, one was 87, and one was 89. So I was a conscientious objector.
Okay.
All right, so that was accepted by them. My granddaughter vaccinated. My grandson had autism.
Oh, wow. Is he severe or?
No, I do not have 80 children. I have a 1980, a 1987, and a 1989.
Okay,
So
got you. I was like, 80 children?
No, please give me a break.
From the same guy? Sorry.
You're giving me more fodder out of this.
80s. Children that were born in the 80s. Got it. Okay. I was like, whoa.
80s. There was a fire in my next door neighbor's house, and my son was 10 pounds, 1.5 ounces, and my husband had made a sign. It's a 10-pound, 1.5 ounce boy. When the fireman knocked on the door, he thought that I had 10 boys, and he thought he was going to have to usher in 10 boys. True story.
It's funny. Yeah.
I'm like, no, it was a 10-pound boy.
At the same time? Whoa, like, that's crazy. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, it was crazy. But I am glad that I did not vaccinate my kids.
Wow, why do you think your daughter vaccinated?
I think by then I had sent them to college.
Okay, and then you think they kind of got washed up in that
indoctrination. I was an interpreter, and all those years that I interpreted, I saw the indoctrination getting deeper and deeper and deeper, till finally I had to quit interpreting for colleges.
What language?
sign language.
Oh, okay. Yeah, as an English teacher, I noticed too that's a really good way to indoctrinate people. Like I saw that too because I would tell my students, I'd be like, watch CNN. It will help your English skills, right? And it,
Right?
and
Right?
they don't
I
do
mean,
investigative reporting. They just basically translate too in different countries. I noticed, like I lived
uh-huh.
in Taiwan, they just translate from whatever the like BBC and CNN are saying
Yep,
for their
yep.
local
And
news.
you never know. The other day I was talking through an interpreter with a deafblind, which was a client. I was in a car accident in 2016, and I've been on disability since. Thank God I'm a Navy veteran, so I got that. But anyway, I was talking to my deafblind client, all right, which now I'm her proxy, so I have a little more pull now.
Hmm.
But anyway, the interpreter would not interpret anything pro-Trump. Nothing.
Yeah.
Well, this is against my beliefs, and so I'm going to have to stop interpreting. And I says, no, ma'am, you stay, and I'm going to change the way that I interpret.
That's
They were trying to send
unethical.
her to an apartment building that was infested, COVID-19, whatever. She's deaf and blind. She's in a wheelchair, and you want to send her home.
Isn't there's ethics, right? Because I've looked into translating a little bit. I know my Spanish is pretty good. I know some Mandarin. I love languages, and I've looked into. I mean, I wouldn't be a professional interpreter because there's just so much I have to learn. But like I did look into it. There's a code of ethics, isn't there? I'm guessing it's the same for sign language that you have to follow because if somebody is saying something, you're supposed to interpret it as closely as you can, right?
Yes, yes, yes. But the thing of it is with this COVID thing and the way they're taking control and everything, it's like all of a sudden you've got to interpret it their way and what they are saying for safety's sake, or else now you can be accused of inciting a riot or trying to get someone paranoid. Or
That's
I
insane.
have a 3-inch binder. I'm a certified interpreter. I have a 3-inch binder with the code of, we call it the Code of Professional Conduct. Now, it used to be the Code of Ethics. Now it's called the Code of Professional Conduct. I have legal, medical, and educational laws, as well as home education, home laws, and all of this other stuff. So I have all of the laws related to interpreting, all right, in my binder. That way, if I get stuck outside, whether it's business or anything, here's the law. There you go. Suck it up, and pay me or whatever. But,
Wow.
Anyway, the thing of it is with this COVID thing and the way that they've taken totalitarian control.
Yeah.
Do I say that?
Yeah.
Do I dare say that?
Yeah, it's okay. It's truth to talk, girl. You know what I say on this channel.
I have gotten blocked on Facebook. I have gotten censored already, so I have to do my little asterisks and my little exclamation points when I put in my little Facebook quotes or my little posts. I've gotten posts that won't go through now, okay, because it might be pro-Trump and COVID, whatever. And I never thought, I would be censored. Come on. Y'all deal with it. You deal with it,
Yeah.
whatever. Candace Owens deals, everybody else deals with it, Ben Shapiro, whatever. Y'all fight the fight. But then it's like, what the hell? Everybody? Come on. But this whole COVID thing and the way socialism and everybody is just surrendering their rights, and that's one of the things us veterans are concerned about. How long? First we get told till the middle of April. Now the end of April, and we're like, come on, like you're right. How long are we going to sit here and do this?
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden I get a phone call this morning from the VA. My rehab facility for my physical therapy is going to be closed for 90 days.
Yeah, I don't know, like I've been talking to people when I go out and just trying to gauge how other people are taking it. I don't know, I'm in Texas. I think a lot of people are starting to see through it and they're saying this is not like something else is going on.
Yeah.
I just don't know when the breaking point's going to be. God forbid, like the internet goes out, then I think people are going to riot. But, as long as people are kind of pacified. But, people are mad because, they're not making money. My best friend's about to lose his company there's so many people's lives that are being destroyed. I don't know. Like, I don't think we're gonna last 3 months. I don't think that people are gonna sit still for 3 months.
No, I don't think so either. And I think everybody's starting to see with the fact we're getting Fredo and his brother on TV 24/7. And did you see? Sorry, Chris Cuomo. Let me be nice. I'm sorry. Okay, let me not be sarcastic. Chris Cuomo on TV the other day, how he's having hallucinations with this stuff now.
Oh,
that's
no, but I'm not. But they're just gonna take it to the max. They're gonna take it. This is a war, like I've been saying. So
Just a money grab for. I see states just money grab.
Yeah.
Money grab. It's almost like their last ditch effort to grab whatever they can.
Yeah, I think they're losing. Maybe I'm too much of an optimist, but I think they're losing. A lot of their plans have not been working out. They didn't get as many people through. I heard some people got through, but they didn't get as many people as they wanted to get through with the migrant caravan. Oh, and speaking of that, I was watching something where they were interviewing somebody in the migrant caravan, and they're like, "What do you do for a living?" He's like, "Oh, I'm a carpenter," and that's basically all he said. But the interpreter said, "I'm a carpenter. I have 3 kids and I'm scared." I'm like, he didn't say that. Like sometimes when they do the translations, they kind of balance the original language with the English translation. You can hear what the other person is saying. And sometimes they just turn the volume all the way up and they translate it so you can't hear what they're saying. But I heard, and I was just like, that's unethical. You're not supposed to do that. They just added extra stuff to make it more like dramatic or to more intense,
To make it fit the narrative.
Yeah.
Only 40% of the English language is lip readable. Okay? So you turn down that volume and you can fit anything you want to fit with that lip reading.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that, but I'm saying this guy was speaking Spanish and the English interpreter was interpreting for him. And the interpreter basically added extra stuff. And I was like, he didn't say that. You're lying.
See, this has all got to come out, like that fake interpreter we had with Obama that one time. We all knew. We were all saying, that's not a sign language interpreter. What are you freaking crazy? It's like everybody that knows Spanish ought to come out and go, that's not what he said. Oh, no. It's like all the sign language interpreters came out and said, that was a fake interpreter with our president. What the hell?
Yeah. It's crazy. What do you think? Like, you're older, and is this some of the craziest stuff that you've seen in your lifetime?
This is the thing. I was born after 1948. Israel was, when Jerusalem was made the capital. All right. Now I'm Messianic Jewish. I believe in Jesus Christ. He's my Lord and Savior. Period. Okay. So I was raised with Jesus is going to come one day. Then you're 13 and you're in high school reading Animal Farm and George Orwell, 1984.
Yeah.
Okay? So you've got to think freaky things are going on with computers, and you've got to think your mom's been a computer programmer, first female with Coca-Cola since 1964. So you've known hypersensitive security stuff for the computer. Your dad was in the Navy. Okay, so you've known there's freaky stuff going on way before. Okay, 1973 hits, read Orwell. Okay, so then you're thinking, okay, God's going to come any minute. 1776, 1976, bicentennial hits. We thought Jesus was going to come. 1984 comes. 1984, the computers are here. And that's when the internet started getting real big, okay? Then 2000, Y2K. So how many times I've lived through this with Ebola, with H1N1, okay, with AIDS. How many times, and I was raised with bomb threats, don't forget. Every week we had weekly bomb raids where you had to hide under your desk. What the hell was that going to do for us?
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Was the Cuban Missile Crisis? Were you right? You know, I showed the cartoon, the Duck and Cover cartoon, to some of my kids in Taiwan, and they thought it was the funniest thing. They're like, "Teacher, that's not going to work." Like, but yeah.
What was that going to do for us, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
and I go like, you had me hiding under a little tiny wooden desk. Are you for real?
I know, but now they know, you know, they thought it was so funny. But it's like, I mean, is this the craziest thing that you've experienced so far?
Is the craziest because it's the first time we've given up our rights, and I thank God for the president we have.
Yeah.
And I know the Bible says in that day the trump of the Lord will sound, and I know we've got the brassest president we've ever had, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm saying that I'm glad he said that gun shops are essential. Every gun shop I'm in New York, okay? I'm where they're letting the prisoners go free.
Yeah.
And the gun shops, all of a sudden everybody believes in the Second Amendment now in New York State.
That's right. That's right. I mean, I'm in Texas, so I'm set.
Out of prison, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So we've got a lot of people that know now that our governor is bingo crazy mob. We know that, okay? And we also know that Fredo, his brother, are tripping on COVID-19 when ain't nobody tripped on COVID-19 before. He's tripping on something else he ain't telling us.
Wait, Chris Cuomo and the mayor, they're related? I just made that connection. Cuomo, I just made that. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm late.
Mainstream media at all. I watch you guys on YouTube all the time.
I just made that connection. They're related.
It's Alfredo and Chris Cuomo. Chris Cuomo and Andrew Cuomo. If it ain't Chris Cuomo, it's Andrew Cuomo. Okay? All the time on the news media here. Okay? They're killing us in New York. And they want to lift up. They're saying hashtag President Cuomo, President Andrew Cuomo. That's what they're hashtagging in New York State.
But
President Andrew Cuomo.
why? Like, oh God.
Because they're stupid.
Yeah,
But
you know what?
New York City forever. Cuomo said he wanted New York State to be ground zero. He told New York State in the beginning of February, go out, ride the subways, do it. Our medical personnel did, you know. He told them to go out. This wasn't a big deal. Pelosi, you can see her ripping up the speech February 4th, the State of the Union. President Trump, during the State of the Union, talked about the coronavirus in the State of the Union speech. A lot of people missed it. And Pelosi ripped up the speech, and she wants to try the president now that he didn't do enough when they called him a xenophobe for closing the border. Something else is up.
Yeah.
I believe this is a lost power grab. This is a political power grab. Nothing's worked so far.
Yeah.
And they even called for this virus. They called for a recession. All them actresses and news people called for a recession. And how many people have called? I hope a lot of people die so we can get rid of Trump.
Yeah. Bill Maher and, you know, yeah.
That was my cat talk.
Yeah. This is,
people are starting to wake up. I do believe people are finally waking up. I'm so proud of you young people. I really am.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for being willing to put your neck out on the line. You know, I pray God protects you from CL exclamation point NTON. You know, we don't want you to, you know.
Well, thank you. I take prayers. I believe in prayer, and I believe in meditation and prayer and sending good energy. I believe in that, so I will take it. I will take it.
You know what? I do pray, and if it weren't for that, if it weren't for my relationship with God, I pray for all the veterans that don't have it, because I do believe a lot of this is population control too. You know, you look at Bill Gates, and Bill Gates said it. He said it in one of his videos that the population was 7.6 mil. And by 2020, it was going to reach 9 mil. But with the right vaccines, we can cut that by 15%.
Yeah, and it's so funny. You show some people that video, and they still would argue and be like, "He didn't mean that." But I'm like, well, his actions are basically supporting what he says. But you know, whatever.
How many times did I hear with the parents whose kid got the shot and then kid got sick? I was the interpreter, and they're looking at me and crying to me, and I'm like, girl, honey, I'm just the interpreter. I can't. I was not able to say, outside. I
Yeah.
said, you catch me on my time off, and I'll tell you how I treat my kids and vaccines.
Yeah.
I have allergies, so it was easy for me to say I'm allergic to eggs, and I'm allergic to this, and I'm allergic to that. So if you've got any of that in there, don't give it to my children.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I had a lot more leeway.
Yeah.
But these
Wow.
deaf people, man, they're treating me just like that deaf blind people person in the hospital. They're treating them like mushrooms, keeping them in the dark and feeding them a lot of what.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing, is how many people are they manipulating because they can.
Yeah, I wonder that too. There's a lady, and she's really nice, and I can't do sign language, but we'll write messages to each other. And she works at one of these. It's like a market in Austin, but it's a super, super, super liberal market. And I only go every once in a while because they have the best avocados and they have some other produce things. But I really don't like going there because they're just every time it's like I'm overhearing conversations about Trump and how much they hate him and stuff like this. And she's deaf, and I wonder if there's really any other sources for her to get information outside of that place that she works, because she's deaf. And I understand how people are controlled through information, especially if you're somebody that's special needs or if you speak a different language.
Find a Trump supporter or a Republican conservative, whatever, that is, and this is the thing. I'm thinking about, I've been on disability since 2016, and I think about going back into business just for a minute to make sure that, I'm 70% military disability. I got my SSD, so it's like I can work a little bit, make a little bit of money, and I'm an interpreter. And the thing of it is we make pretty good money, and I can work just for a few clients and just work with a few and know that if I work with these few, then the other work you can get out of there, but go back into the business just for a minute, and that way be that interpreter, because I can't find any Trump supporters here. And that's
it would be cool if you can have your own YouTube channel where you translate it. It would be cool if you had your own YouTube channel where you could translate.
I wanna be able to set it up because I do Zoom and stuff, and I do have my own agency. So that's how my client recently, when one of the local hospitals called me, and I'm like, I've been out of work for 3 years. Yeah, but we got so-and-so. And I'm like, oh, so-and-so, you have so-and-so. Yeah, she's tearing the place apart right now? Yeah, okay. And you finally called me, huh?
Yeah.
But anyway, so they wanted me to go back in her apartment building and do a bunch of stuff. I was able to get to go there, and the very first thing I did was I saw the interpreter there, and I looked at him, and I go, move. And he looked at me, and I go, move. And he finally moved, and all I did was put my sign name in her hand. She melted into tears. She has not had a decent interpreter. She's been, and I feel so bad. And I would like to go into training, but the thing of it is, it's so political now and so politically controlled.
Yeah.
That if you want that money, if you want that paycheck, and you can't go off interpreting this, and you've got to, like in colleges, that's one of the things I quit doing in colleges. When people ask me why, I said, well, here's why.
College is so bad. College is so bad. I mean, just the indoctrination is just insane.
Shoot, my
in schools.
son, he turned into a Democrat.
Yeah.
He ran for office. He's a politician. My own child.
Yeah, I know.
Didn't go into the military, became a politician. Where did I go wrong?
Well, my one of my girlfriends homeschooled her child, I think from the age of, maybe it was like 9 or whatever, and now he's starting to take college classes and getting high school credit, and she was just within 6 months, now he's a liberal, he's just basically has been indoctrinated.
My professor's so smart. My professor's been to
Yeah.
India. My professor's
Yeah.
been to China. And my son went to China and bought me a little freaking little thing, you know, the little bird that you put little on the shelf, and he brought it home, and I said, great. And he goes, Mom, but I got it from China, and I go, yeah, but it was still made in China, son. Don't you understand? It's probably got lead paint on it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
great, but
Yeah.
you know.
yeah. Well, Denise, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for
thank
calling.
you so much.
Hey guys, this was the number 87.
All right,
So
totally prayers for protection, and God bless you, and keep doing it. Keep doing what you're doing.
oh, thank you, Denise. I appreciate it. God bless you too.
All right.
Okay, bye-bye. Sorry. Ooh, all right, guys, this was the number. Can you see? 87. So I'm going to have to review who was the closest. I think I saw an 89 and an 83, but I have to see. It would be 89 would be the closest, but I'm going to have to I'm gonna have to look at the I'll do it in a couple days because I have to look at I can't even think of the name, the live stream, the live chat. And then also, let me know, could you guys see this? This is a little bit graphic, but I also wanted to show this. I have a friend, one of my classmates. He had a surgery. He had some infection. It's a little bit graphic, but I'm trying to. He has a wait. Oh shoot, where is it? Let me try this one. Oh, I think this is. Let's try this one. GoFundMe for my friend. He's trying to raise money. His name is Roberto, and he's trying to raise money for his medical expenses. What I think I'm gonna do, I'm sorry you guys, I really didn't think this out, but it's a little bit graphic, but I'm gonna put his GoFundMe. I'm gonna do a follow-up video by Monday. I'll do a follow-up video commenting on this, and then I'll put his GoFundMe, what do you call it? His GoFundMe in the chat if you want to donate to his for his medical expenses. There are a lot of people that are struggling right now, and then I'll review the chat to see if see who was closest, who got the closest number, and then I will tell that person's name and have them to email me, and I will email me the address and I will send this to you. Sorry, I'm like super sleepy, but that's it, you guys. Maybe I can do another one next week. I love doing the live chats, but now that this kind of went better, I think this went better than the last time because I think people's like numbers were showing up and people were getting mad at me and I was just messing it up. But I think this was a little bit better. So yeah, Jeffrey Russell Jr., what the hell happened to him? He had like he said he had like some kind of like bacterial infection or something, and they had to remove it and stuff. But he's a classmate I do jiu-jitsu with. He's a really nice guy, and he said it wasn't cancer, but he was describing it as, yeah, it's pretty bad though. So if you want to donate to that, if you want to, be a good Samaritan and do that, I would really appreciate it. Maybe I can put it. Oh, you know what? It should be in the links after this video goes up. I think it's already in the links, but I'll do another follow-up video and I'll put it in the links as well by Monday. So anyway, thank you guys so much. And I think I'm gonna try and do this like weekly. We'll see. But I was able to get home a little earlier tonight, so it worked out really well. So, all right, y'all. I will talk to you later. Peace, truth, love. Bye-bye. Mwah.